Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll build the good looking premium SaaS slide device. Okay, first of all, it has a neighbor. Inside the neighbor, it has a left side, it has a logo. After that, it in the right side, it has a navigation icon. So like features, testimonial, pricing, and get started. After that, so now we have the good looking and beautiful hero section with the good title. Okay, so on top of that, we have built this that's the animated border icon. That's its look, not looking so sleek, it's also looking so premium. Okay, after that, so we have an impact section. Inside that impact section, we have a 4 column. Inside that column, so as you can see that each of the cards is denoting something informations. Okay, after all of that, now we have a feature section. Inside that features, we have a real-time dashboard and then blazing fans. Okay, by the way, those are the completely demo data. So you can build, when you watch this tutorial, you can easily build that kind of cards designed by yourself. Okay, after that, we have an keyboard first and then integration sections. After all of that, so we have a testimonial, the good looking animated testimonial in column by columns. Okay, so now finally we have the good looking standing pricing sections. It has a 3 pricings: starter, pro, and enterprise sections. After all of that, we have a CTA with that animated border buttons. After all of that, we have a finally folder section. Inside that folder, we are denoting everything as like any premium SaaS line faces denote. Okay, so have a nice day, see you soon. All right, so let's create the folder. So I simply name it as a landing page. That's it. Now I just want to open with the Visual Studio. Okay, so let's open up the terminal first and then write code dot. That's it. Now it will open up within Visual Studio. That's absolutely fine. Okay, let's remove this. I don't need it anymore. Okay, now okay, let's close that one as well. Okay, first of all, yes, I trust the authors. Okay, and then close that. Okay, so again close it. Okay, let's increase the screen size quite a bit. Okay, absolutely fine. Let's open up the terminal and then I will create the Next.js project. Okay, for creating the Next.js project, I will use the git bash instead of PowerShell. Okay, so in your case, it show the PowerShell, so please switch to the git bash as well. Okay, so that's closed, and now I know I want to create the projects. Okay, so I will use the pnpm as a package manager, dlx for this command execution command for running the execution. So pnpm dlx create next f at latest. Okay, so and the name of the project, I have already named my project, that's why I will use this. Okay, so it will take quite a bit of seconds, let's wait. Okay, now no, I customize settings. Okay, I'll create that one. So okay, typescript, would you like to use typescript? Yes. Okay, for I will use the beyond. So okay, this is a fast formatter and linter as compared to the easily, so that's why I will go with beyond. Okay, so and then would you like to use the React compiler? Obviously. So and then tailwind CSS. So after that, so yes, source directory, and then app router, finally the input will no. Okay, so now okay, let's wait a second. So okay, so it's successfully been create the project inside our folder. Okay, now let's install the shared CNY inside our project. Okay, so first of all, we have to use the pnpm dlx dlx and then shared cn at latest and init. That means first of all we need to initialize the shared cn inside our project. Okay, so I will use the stone. So and then okay, yeah, it's never going to take them more than a minute. Okay, let's wait. Okay, the project initialized complete. Okay, now what we have to do? Okay, next, so if you want to add any component inside your project, okay, you will do it. But before doing it, so okay, let's open up the global.css. Okay, now I want to replace this global.css with my previous created global.css. Okay, so okay, let's click in a source code inside. Okay, I will provide the GitHub link in this in a description box, but if you don't see the GitHub link inside it, okay, so don't worry. So I will provide the exact GitHub link inside the description box. Okay, by clicking that link, so you can simply open up inside of open up in the browser. After that, you'll see that like that. Okay, so now, so from there, so let's open up this source inside the source. Okay, inside the app folder. Okay, now click open up the global.css file. Okay, simply copy this. Okay, this copy and then replace this, remove everything and paste it. Okay, now okay, so now we have done. We don't now we need to create we need to copy another file from there. So okay, so inside the source folder, okay, and let's open up the constants.ts files. After that, again we need to copy. Okay, so it's successfully copied. Now let's back to the editor. Okay, now inside that, so I want to create the one constant file inside the source folder. Okay, so okay, let's open up the folder structure. So first of all, I want to collapse the folder structure and then create the constant.ts file inside the source folder. Okay, constant.ts, that's it, inside that folder. So I'll simply paste what I have copied. Okay, so yeah, we have done with the GitHub. Okay, so don't worry, you will get all the source code inside a GitHub, so you can literally copy and paste it there. So okay, just you need to understand how you need to use it and what's the meaning of that part, that code, what we are writing inside it. Okay, so you do not be paid up anything about it. So okay, so we will move through step by step. Okay, first of all, I want to open up the main. Oh, okay, so I just want to open, first of all I will open the main layout. Okay, main layout.ts files, and I will remove everything. Okay, I will write everything from scratch. Okay, first of all I will import type React from React. Okay, so after that I will import metadata, type metadata from Next. Okay, so and then I will use the main group, import main group main group. Okay, so from her, from Next slash font slash Google, that's it. After that, so we need to import the global.css file, globals.css, that's it. Okay, where the global.css is located. Okay, just you can see there, so global.css there. Okay, oh, that's why you need to use the dot and then forward slash. After that you need to provide the global.css, that's it. So now let's define the font, main row fonts. Okay, main row. Okay, so inside a main row, and you want to provide the subset will be Latin, and I want to create the variables. Okay, variables font main row. Okay, now I'll export, and now I'll create the metadata. So export const metadata. Type of the metadata will be what we have imported. Okay, metadata. Okay, so metadata, and then open the curly braces. Inside the curly braces, I provide the title. Okay, title will be what? Okay, title, I'm going to provide the premium SaaS landing page. Okay, so and then I have to provide the descriptions. Build the good looking radius style premium SaaS landing page, that's it. Now I want to provide the logo. Okay, so first of all, icons, inside icons. Okay, it will be again curly braces, inside the curly braces. Okay, with the icon. Okay, so now I will open the array, inside an array. So it will have an array of object. Okay, inside that I'll provide the URL, and then URL, and then type the media. Okay, the media, that's it. Now we don't have any logo, so okay, let's import the logo from the logo ipsum. Okay, those are the complete demo logo. Okay, you can easily use inside your project. Okay, logo ipsum.coms. Okay, inside the logo ipsum.coms, so I have one paper one from there. Yes, that one. Okay, so let's simply copy, and let's open up the folder structure inside the public folder. Okay, let's remove everything. We don't need it anymore. Okay, so okay, so now again we don't need favicon.icu as well. Okay, so let's delete that one as well. After that, I'll create the one file named the logo.spz. That's it. Now simply open file using the Visual Studio Standard text library editor. Okay, inside it I simply paste what I've copied. Now I need to change the color of that logo. Okay, because I want the white color instead of orange. Okay, let's wrap the text. After wrapping the text, okay, let's change the logo. Okay, it will be F. That's it. That means it will be the white color. Okay, let's close it again. Let's close that one as well. So, okay, now I want to provide inside in the URL. I will provide the logo. Sorry, logo.spz. Then media. But the type of the media is the preference. Okay, preference color scheme colon dark. When we are in the dark mode, it will be on that favicon inside our top right corner. Okay, in the browser. When we are in the when you're in the dark mode. Okay, when we're in the light mode. So, okay, URL again. It will be what logo.spz. Okay, so after that, now the media will be again media. So media with the now I don't want to provide the media because I have already provided the media, so we don't need anymore. Now I want to provide the type. Okay, so what will be the type? Type will be so image slash SVG plus XML. SVG plus XML. Okay, so yes, this is the type of the favicon. So after that, what we have to do next? Okay, now we will create our final functions. Okay, export would default function, then root layout. Okay, so now we need to provide the types. Okay, so what will be the type of it? So type of it will be the read only type, read only inside the read only type. Okay, so object, so inside the children, how the children will be what? React node. That's it. Now inside that we need to get this. Okay, we need to destructure this children. Okay, or this children. That's it. Oh, we have successfully destructured it. Now what do you have to do next? Okay, inside it, so we simply return. After the return, let's look at the HTML. Okay, so inside an HTML, so yeah, I want to provide the length means the language attribute. After that, the class name will be dirt. Okay, so that's absolutely fine. And then what next? Okay, so inside that head, okay, open up the head. Inside the head, okay, let's open up the link. Okay, by the way, this is the CSS link. Okay, not the link from the shared UI, by the way. Okay, let's start sheet href. Okay, href will be the font name. Okay, now again, so let's head back to our GitHubs. Okay, head back to the GitHubs and inside the source folder. Okay, so again, app, open the layout. Okay, now I need to copy it. I need to copy this font. Okay, that's it. Now simply paste inside it. Okay, now we are done. For the head, let's open up the body. Okay, body. Inside the body, so I need to provide the class names. Okay, class name will be what? Okay, so I have imported the cn means from. Okay, this cn function is provided by the shared UI for merging the Tailwind CSS classes. Okay, so inside that I can provide manrobe. Okay, manrobe variable what we have created, manrobe.class names, or you can provide the manrobe.variable because we have created the variable inside it. Okay, after that, so will be font sense and anti-aliased, and then busy zinc 950 zinc 950. After that, so text zinc 100, text zinc 100. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Now I want to create the one's lens provider. Why we need to use the lens provider? Because if you want to create the small and smooth animation inside a scroll, so at that moment you have to use the one package is called the Lenis. Okay, first of all you need to install that package Lenis. Okay, npm add Lenis. Okay, Lenis, that's it. Okay, let's wait a second. Okay, so now Lenis successfully installed inside our project. Okay, now open up the folder structure inside. Okay, first of all I want to collapse everything. So inside the source folder, okay, inside the source folder I want to create the one folder named the provider. Okay, provider. Okay, so provider, inside the provider I will create the Lenis provider file. Okay, Lenis provider .tsx. Okay, inside the Lenis provider .tsx I will write the script. Okay, so okay, first of all make sure it will be the client component because we will use some interaction inside the browser. For how you want to do something interaction inside the browser or the browser related tasks, at that moment you have to make your component client. That means it will be the client component. I think you already know about it. What are the client component, what are the server component, and what's the difference between client and server component? You already know about it because you are creating the project inside the Next.js. So okay, so after client, make the client component first and then import. Okay, so from Lennis/React. Okay, from the Lennis/React, I will import what? I will import the React Lennis. That things for what? What is the purpose of that? Okay, the purpose of that React Lennis, it will make the smooth animation in the scroll. That's it. When you are scrolling down the content inside a browser, at that moment it will make your content more smoother scroll animation. That means it will provide a smooth scroller animations. Okay, so after that, I'll create the interface. Okay, so inside interface, Lennis provider. Okay, so props. For the props, I will get this children. Now the children will be react node. That's it. Now we need to create the function export function. So that's all the Lennis provider. So inside the Lennis provider, okay, I need to pass this props. Now after passing the props, I will destructure it. Just structure the children. That's it. Okay, and let's simply open up the curly braces. Inside the curly braces, I will return. Okay, inside that, okay, that one of the React Lennis, what we have imported from the Lennis/React. Okay, so yes, now I need to pass this children inside it. Now I need to pass a bunch of product. First of all, it will be root. Okay, that means it is the root element. After that, so option, I need to pass a couple of options. Okay, and then lerp will be 0.1. After that, duration, so duration will be 1.5, and smooth wheel, a smooth wheel will be okay. That's it. We have successfully created our Lennis provider. Okay, let's head back to the layout.tsx, and inside that, it's okay. Okay, so now I need to use this Lennis provider inside that. Okay, create the Lennis provider. Inside the Lennis provider, I need to pass the children. Okay, how can I provide the children? That's it. I need to pass that children. I'm successfully done with the layout. Okay, so okay, let's run this server and see what we have created. Okay, so pnpm dev. Okay, let's verify what we have successfully created inside our project. Okay, now let's open up the browser and see the result. Okay, now okay, let's close it. We don't need it anymore. Okay, so localhost 3000. That's it. Okay, okay, now we have successfully created our okay, so now we can see the our result what we have created inside our project. Okay, well, let's open up the okay, first of all we need to open up the page.tsx and remove everything. Okay, now I create the RFCs. Okay, so our main project, okay, sorry, our main function. Okay, this is the snippet. Okay, again I'm saying the RFC. Okay, so RFC React arrow function export component. Okay, so this is the snippet, React native snippets. Okay, your users in there. Okay, and extensions. Okay, React snippet. Okay, as you can see, so React direct snippet, when you will install this extension inside your project or inside your Visual Studio, you can also use that kind of syntax inside your project as well. So this is so simple to use and so simple to navigate. Okay, so I think this is pretty handy when you want to create something, when you want to create the snippet for the component faster. Okay, so simply create our AFCE. That's it. Okay, then simply enter. Now it will create the structure for your component. Okay, now I can rename the components. Will be home. That's it. Now let's open up the browser and see the result. Okay, now you successfully seen this. Okay, so first of all, what do you have to do? So now I need to provide the class name inside it. Okay, inside the class name. So okay, so first of all, minimum height will be screen. Okay, so and then busy zinc 950. Okay, that's it. After that, so I will create the navbar. That's it. So now we need to create this navbar component. Okay, inside I'll create this navbar because navbar is a reusable component. That's why I will create the navbar inside an UI folder because it's a reusable component, right? So now we need to create the component first because components doesn't exist. When you would install the any component from the shared anyway, it will by default create the component inside your project, but we haven't added any component inside our project. That's why we don't see any component folder. Okay, first of all I need to create the component. That's it. After that component, I want to create the one another so I want to create another folder named UI. That's it. Inside an UI folder, I will create the navbar. File. Okay, so okay, navbar.tsx. Okay, so that's it. It's so simple. So now, so first of all, it will be a client component because we will use the browser interaction inside it. That's why it will be the client component. After that, I will import the image from next/image. Okay, so that's it. Now I will import the link from next/link. That's it. After that, so const. Okay, by default we haven't. Okay, let's open the constant folder. Inside that constant we have a nav link. Okay, f nav link. Okay, we have a nav link. Okay, sorry, so nav links. Okay, nav links doesn't exist. Sorry. Okay, so wait, don't worry, you don't need to create this okay, let's create the nav link nav link. So okay, so this is so simple. So it will just have a three block. Okay, so href will be what? Feature hash feature, because we'll use the id based link. Okay, features. So and then label will be features. Okay, so after that we'll create another block. Okay, sorry, we will create another block. So again, href will be hash will be testimonials. Okay, so and then the label will be testimonials. Okay, so after that I'll create href. So okay, so will be pricing, right? So pricing. Okay, so and then label will be label. Okay, so label will be pricing done. We have successfully created our nav links. This is so simple. So you can also do, you can just simply pause the screen and have it. Okay, so now create export function navbar. Okay, so return nav navbar. That's it. Now I need to import this navbar in there. So on the other one, it will throw an error. So, okay, so for this reason, so I need to import the navbar. After that, okay, let's head back to the navbar component. Okay, now okay, I will use the semantic element from the HTML, because when you use the semantic element, this is helpful for the SEO. At the same time, so it's also meaningful for other developers. So when you want to provide the context inside your code, you are not only following the best practices, you will be considered as a good developer. That's why I'll use the semantic element. Okay, header. Okay, so inside an header, class name, fixed, top 0, left 0, right 0, z 40, and padding 4. Padding top, left, right 4. Okay, we have padding in both sides, so I have provided 4. That's it. After that, so create the nav. Inside a nav, so again I want to provide the bouncer class. First of all, the max width 5 pixel, max width 5 pixel, mx auto flags items center. Okay, so item center and justify between. Okay, height 12. So and then vx 6. After the vx 6, it will be rounded full busy zinc. Okay, so busy zinc will be 900. Sorry, the 900 slash opacity 70. That's it. Okay, inside it inside okay, we need to provide our, okay, so let's, we need to provide the more classes. The border zinc border zinc 800 slash 50. So after that, backdrop blur md. Okay, so inside the backdrop blur md, so now let's create the nav. Okay, so it will be logo, it's for the logo. Okay, sorry, so inside that, let's open the link, or inside the link, so href. Okay, so slash, so after that the class name. Okay, so font display. This font displays already exists inside the global CSS file, which we have copied from the where GitHub. Okay, you already know about it. Display. So and then text LG. So font semi bold. Text ink 100. After that, image. So inside an image, we need to pass that logo what we have imported from the logo.ipsum. Okay, so source will be what? Source will be logo.svg. So okay, so and then alt will be, all alternative text will be logo. Oh, and then width 50 and height 50 as well. Okay, so height 50 as well. That's it. Okay, so okay, so now we'll create another div after the link. Okay, now provide the class name. So it will be flags items center and gap 1. Okay, now open the curly braces and nav links. Okay, nav links, I'll map through the nav links. Map. Okay, so I'll get a single map. Okay, single link by the way, and then get the index. Okay, let's open up the parenthesis. Now link. Okay, so inside href, href, I will pass the link dot href key will be index. Okay, now I provide the class name. So class name will be px for py 1.5, py 1.5, and then text sm rounded full, rounded full. That means border radius full. Okay, so the transition, I want to provide the transition in color. Transition color. So text color will text zinc 400. Okay, so text zinc 400. I'll hover over it. The text color will be 100. Zinc text zinc 100. That's it. So inside the inside that, so I want to provide the label. Okay, so link dot label. Sorry. Okay, so okay, so after that, okay, so after that, so I'll open another link. href. So inside an href, so I'll provide the hash pricing. Sorry, first we need to provide the double quotation. So inside that, I'll provide the pricing. Inside that, so I'll provide the get started. Get started. Now I need to provide a bunch of class name inside that as well. Okay, class name will be first Marcin Lab 2, and then px for py your 1.5. Okay, now I'm considering you already know about all the Tailwind classes meaning. Okay, if you don't know anything about all the Tailwind classes meaning, so please comment below, so I'll provide the complete Tailwind course. Okay, tax sm, so tax sm rounded full, busy zinc 100, tax zinc 900. Okay, so font will be medium, font medium, font medium. So and then when I'll hover over it, the busy zinc 200, and then transition will be colored, transitions colors. Okay, so I think we have successfully completed the navbar component. Okay, let's open up the browser and see the result. Okay, as you can see, so all the things is looking so good. Okay, so good. Yeah. Okay, so now we have successfully completed our navbar component and simply close it. Okay, let's head back to the page.tsx and create this heroes section. Okay, so heroes sections. Okay, so now we need to create this component inside. Okay, let's head back to the folder structure. Okay, so first of all, I need to collapse it first. Okay, so that I can see the clean folder structure. Okay, inside the component folder, now I want to create another folder called the screen, or you can okay, so I want to name it as sections. Okay, sections. Okay, sections. Inside the section folder, I want to create my hero section. Okay, so again, hero sections, hero section dot tss. Okay, so that's it. Now rfc hero section. Okay, now simply, okay, let's head back to the page.tsx and import the hero section. That's absolutely fine. Okay, now, okay, so now we're closed with the page.tsx and move to the hero sections. Okay, now I want to make it as a client component, because again, you already know about it. We will use some browser related task. At that moment, you have to convert the server component into the client component, because by default all the component inside the Next.js are the server component. I think you already know about it, so you can consider it as a reminder for you. Okay, so let's close. Okay, let's remove everything and use the tag use client. That's it. You already know about it. You're so smart. Import link from next link. Okay, next slash link. That's it. Now I need to import a couple of logo from the Lucid React. Okay, so first of all, I will import all of those logo from the shared Lucid icons. Okay, Lucid React, not a Lucid icon by the way. So okay, obviously you can consider the Lucid icon. So but the name of the package is Lucid React. Okay, sparkles. Okay, sparkles. First sparkle icons and then arrow right. Okay, so arrow right. After that, the star icon. So okay, star icon. That's it. Now, okay, now set it. So let's remove everything. So I will use, again, I will use the semantic element. So I use the section inside that. Okay, so provide the class names. Okay, so first of all, minimum height will be screen. Screen. Okay, so when you don't know anything about the Tailwind CSS class name, let's simply hover over it. You can see CSS class name. Okay, okay, let's assume I don't know anything about the minimum height screen. Okay, what it does and what's the meaning of this about the CSS. Okay, at the moment you simply hover over it, you can see the result. This is a pure CSS classes. That's it. And then flags call items center, and then justify will be center. Justify center px6 padding top 24 and padding bottom 20. Make it relative because we need to use the absolute in letter. Okay, after that, okay, so I will create the one self-closing div element. Okay, inside it, that one is only for the background gradient overlay. Okay, so I'll create this comment background gradient in the gradient overlay. Sorry, overlay by the way. So sorry. Class name, so absolute insert 0. Insert 0 means top 0, left 0, right 0, and bottom 0. And then busy linear. I have to create the linear. Okay, previously the class name was busy gradient. Okay, busy linear to bottom. Okay, from zinc 900 and opacity 50, 900 and opacity 50 to transparent, and via transparent as well, via transparent. That's it. Okay, after that, so now I have to create the content. Okay, inside the content again, let's create the div. Inside the div I want to provide a bunch of class names. Okay, to be relative z10 tag center, so and then max width 3xl, max width 3xl, and then mx auto. Mx auto means the left auto and right auto. mx auto. That's it. Now inside that, this is the main content box. Okay, inside I will write everything. Okay, first of all I will write the batch. Customize your announcement. Sorry, so batch. Okay, let's open up the div. So okay, inside div, so I will create the inline flags items center gap to px4, and then UI. I already know the exact value because I've already created that project previously. That's why I know that. Okay, and then rounded oh, busy zinc 900. Okay, so 900/80. Okay, so border zinc 800, margin bottom 8. Okay, inside that, so I'm going to create a sparkle class name. So size 4 means width 4 and height 4. Okay, the text color will be text zinc 400. Okay, after the sparkles, I'll create spawn. Inside the spawn I will provide the introducing version 2 now with AI. Okay, so let's make it small. Okay, now again I need to provide the class name inside the spawn. Class name will be tax sm and tax jing 400. That's it. Now let's open up the browser and see the result. Okay, I can see that. Okay, so okay, so now what's the next? After that I'll create the headline. Okay, so let's call up this and create the headline. Again I will create headline. Okay, headline. After the headlines I will create s1 element. Okay, so inside the headline, first of all I need to provide the class names. Okay, class name will be font display, and then text will be 5 pixel for the mobile device. So I'll raise the large. Okay, so LG, when I raise the large device, the text became the 7 pixel. Font will be bold. Okay, and then I'll provide the tracking light tracking tight, by the way, sorry. So because that will provide the letter spacings. Margin bottom 6. margin bottom 6. After that, so I'll create the span. Inside the span, I'll create build faster. Build faster. Okay. Inside that, the class name. So class name will be texting100 and block. Texting 100, and it will be block element. Okay, now I'm converting JS span element to span. By default, span as an inline element. When you want to convert inline element into the block element, you have to use the block classes. Okay, block means the display block. Okay, when you hover over it, you can see the display block. That's it. So okay, so after that, I'll create another span. Okay, it will be ship faster. Ship faster. Sorry, ship smarter. Smarter. Okay, so inside now I'm going to provide the class name. So class name will be busy linear to right from zinc 500 via zinc 300, and then to zinc 500, busy clip text. That means I'm creating the gradient text. Okay, so busy clip text, text transparent. Okay, so okay, let's open up the browser and you'll verify your code. Okay, build faster, shift smarter. Okay, now as you can see that now you're seeing the result exactly what you have created inside your code through your code. Okay, let's head back to the code now. After that, so again, so let's call off this. So I'll create the subheading. Okay, so again, there's subheading. And now I'll open up the P element inside the P. So it has a bunch of text. Okay, let's write those texts as well. The all in one platform that help teams build, deploy and scale their products 10x faster. No complexity, just result. Okay, so this is a text so I've created. I've written inside the P element. Okay, now I need to provide the class names. Text LG. When I will release the MD device, that means the medium device, the text become the Excel. Text Excel. After that, text zinc 500. Text zinc 500. Max width to Excel. So and then MX02. Margin bottom will be what? Margin bottom will be 10. Okay, now I'm going to provide the leading relaxed. Okay, and then text balance. Again, so I'm saying if you don't know that meaning of those CSS class text classes, that's text wrap balance. Okay, now when you don't know it, again I'm repeating again and again. When you don't know the meaning of the any Tailwind CSS classes, just hover over it, you will see the exact CSS classes. Okay, so that's it. Now okay, again let's open up the browser. Okay, the all-in-one platform that help team build, deploy and scale their product 10x faster, no complexity, just result. Okay, now I'll create the CTA. CTA means the call to actions. Okay, so first of all, let's open up the div. Inside the div, I need to pass the classes flex call. Okay, but when I'll raise the SMs, small devices, it will become row. Flex row, item center, justify center, items center and justify center, justify center, gap, but gap will be 4. Okay, so now I'll open up the link. Inside that link, I will pass the strap. After the strap, so I'll provide the pricing. Okay, hash. Okay, now inside that I want to pass the Lucid CTA button. Okay, I need to create the custom CTA button. Okay, so now let's create the one component not Lucid, by the way, it will be liquid CTA button. Okay, inside that I'll pass the start free trial file. Okay, again, so okay, liquid CTA button. Okay, now I need to create this component. For this, I want to create the folder, another folder called the buttons. Inside that button, so I will create that button name. Okay, liquid cta button.tsx. Okay, inside that, okay, let's create this button again. So it will be use client, that means it will be the client component. After that, so I will import arrow right from the Lucid React. So and then open the import cn function, import the cn function from the shared scene UI. Okay, now you can see that now you can see that this cn, okay, this class is created, sorry, this function is created by shared scene. When you install the shared scene inside your project, at that moment the shared scene is created, that classes for you. Okay, so inside the utils folder, utils file. Okay, so after that, let's interface, create the interface. Now define the props. Okay, so inside the props, so I'll create the children will be the react node. Okay, so and then class name will be a string. Okay, now on click, okay, on click functions. So again, so it will be the buy it. So okay, after that, so I can also pass the theme. Again, it will be the optional. Okay, now for the default, well, literal value will be light or dark. That's it. Now let's create the function. Export function liquid cta button. Okay, inside that, pass the props. Okay, so now I need to destructure it first. Children class name on click. Okay, after that, so the theme I'm going to provide, the default theme will be dark. Okay, now so is light. Now create the one conditional variable is light, theme equal light. Okay, now return. Okay, so inside that, so okay, I'll create the button inside that button. Okay, so inside that button, so I need to first of all I need to provide on click. Sorry, on click will be on click. What do you have? Creating and then props. Okay, for that, let's define the classes. We have some dynamic classes, that's why I'll use the shared scene UI provided function called the cn. Okay, and then provide the group transition transforms. Okay, so let's see, transition transform duration 300. And I'll hover over it, so it will be scaled to 105. And that one, it will become the active. Sorry. When it will active, at that moment, scale will be what? Scale will be 95. Okay, now I simply pass the class name from the props. Okay, inside that burn. So okay, now I'm going to create another div inside the burns. Provide the class name. Class name will be, so I need to provide the cn. So you already know about the cn. So now it will be rounded full. When it's light, when light is true, so I will provide one shadow. So shadow 0, 8 pixel. First one is for y and second one is for x. Okay, and sorry, first one is for x, second one is for y. That means 8 pixel is for the y and third one is for the blurriness. Okay, the 20 pixel. And then I provide the RGBA. So insert an RGBA. So okay, so 0, 0, 0, and 0.25. Again, this is an alpha. Okay, after that, inside that div, so I want to create, so I need to create another component called the liquid metal border. Okay, liquid metal border. Okay, now okay, so first of all I need to create this component first. Okay, so liquid metal border. Now I will create this component inside the UI because that one is reusable. Okay, liquid metal border .tsx. That's it. Now well, it will be the client, use client. Okay, let's import type react from the react. Okay, so after that import the use state. use effect and use ref. Use state, use effect, and use ref. Okay, so after that I have to create. So, okay, now I need to import the liquid metal. Okay, how can I import the liquid metal? Import the liquid metal from at paper design slash shaders react. Okay, this is the package name. Okay, let's install this. npm add at paper design shaders react. Okay, so okay, let's wait a minute. So it won't take more than a minute. Okay, so okay, let's run the server once again. npm dev. That's it. Close this. Okay, after that we need to import the cn function. Cn from the, again, you already know about it, /lead utils. Okay, so now I'll define the interface props. Okay, you can pass a bunch of props inside it. Okay, first of all, children react node with class name, it will be optional, string, border radius optional, number, border width optional, number, color back optional, string. Okay, so after the color backs, it will be color tint optional, will be a string. Okay, after the color tint, it will be repetition number. Okay, repetition again, it will be optional, and that will become number. And softness number. After the softness, it will be shift red, so it will become the number. The type of that is number, and then shift below now that is number. After the shift below, it have a distortion. What's the type of distortion? Is again number. Okay, after the distortion, so now we have a contour number, and then angle number. Sorry, type of, again, it will be optional. Everything will be optional except children. Okay, speed number, scale number, opacity number, and him will be okay. It will have the literal value, light or dark. That's it. Okay, so let's create the function. Export function. Name of the function is liquid metal border. Okay, so inside it, so I'll structure the props. First, children, last name, radius, border radius. Okay, I'm going to provide the default value for the border radius is 49. The border width, I'm going to provide the default value for 3. Color back and color tint. Repetition will be 7. Softness 0.05. Shift right or 0.6. Shift below 0.3. distortion 0.1, 0.1, contour 0.4, angle is 90 degree angle, speed 0.9. So after the speed, I provide the scale, 4, and then opacity. So opacity is 0.7. Then finally theme become dark. Okay, the default theme is dark. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's open the functions. Okay, now I want to define the some default color back. Default color back variable inside that theme. And theme is light, so I'll create some custom color. This is the what hex code. Okay, so I know for what the hex code of the color is 123 else hash 12345 most default tint default default color tint. Sorry, it will be color tint theme equal light hash ff6. Okay, so okay, let's count it. 5 4 5 6 else hash 1 2 3 4 5 6. That's it. Okay, so now let's create some the user state variable is visible. That is visible equal use state false. Okay, so after that const container ref equal use ref. So html deep element, so by default I provide the null. Okay, so after that, okay, let's create the use effect. Well, create okay, let's element equal the what, the container ref dot current. If it doesn't exist, then it will return now. It will simply return from this use effect. Okay, after that const observer, I'll create an observer, new intersection observer. Okay, so inside that entry. Okay, so I'll pick, so it will return an array. Okay, inside that array, in the first index it will provide the entry. Okay, so after that entry, so let's open up the callback functions. Okay, now set is visible entry dot is instancing. Okay, after that, so I will create another object, root margin 100 pixel, and then threshold 0. Okay, so after this observer dot observe, I want to provide the element. Okay, so then let's do the cleanup. Return observer dot disconnect. Okay, so now we also did the cleanup functions as well. Now let's create our main functions. So now return returned. Oh, okay, so inside the div, okay, ref sorry, so that will be container ref class name cn function. Inside that cn, I need to provide the relative and then class name, what you're getting as the props class name. So after that, let's provide this time border radius, so and then padding border width. That's it. Okay, so let's open another div with the class names. Absolute insert 0 g 0 overflow hidden now. Now I'm going to provide the style border radius opacity. Okay, so now based on the conditions, so I need to render. One is visible true, is true, liquid metal, style width 100%, so not windows by the way, width 100%, height 100%, height 100%. Okay, color back. Color back, when color back is true. Okay, now I want to provide the color back. Once color back is not exist, so I will provide the fallback color. Okay, so it's fallback color which you have created. This is that one. Okay, then color tint. After the color tint, again it's okay. Provide the color tint. Okay, when this okay, that one is called optional setting. Okay, when this is not exist, I want to provide the default. That means it calls the fallback as well. Okay, shape will be none. After that, repetition, softness, shift red, shift red, shift red, shift blue, shift blue, shift blue, distortion. So contour, angle, so also the angle, speed. Okay, so and then scale, finally fit is cover. Okay, it's not, so let's create the div. Inside the div, provide the class name, width full, height full. Okay, so let's import the style, background, theme equal light, and theme equal light is true. When theme is light equal true, then I'll provide some linear gradient 135 degree. Some this from some hex code. Okay, D1, D5, and DB 0%. Okay, now create another hex code, hash 9C A3 A F 50%. After that, so I'll create another hex code. The name is hash D1 D D5 DB. Okay, so it will actually it will 100%. Okay, that's it. Now after that, okay, so now again I will create another linear gradient linear gradient 135 degree 135 degree hash 71717A 0%. After that, so hash 525, sorry, no, 5252 finally 5B 5252 and 5B, so that one is 50%. After that, so we have a hash 7171 and then 7A, so that one is 100%. Okay, So inside that div, so okay, after all of that, okay, so let's remove it. They don't stop closing, by the way. Okay, after all of that, okay, so first I'm going to collapse it, so for the clear visibility. Okay, so after that, create the div inside that div. So I know that this is kind of complex, so but you don't need to memorize the code. Okay, relatives z10 z10, and then I need to provide the style. So that's style border radius border radius minus border width border width border width. That's it. Inside that I want to provide the children. Okay, now it's actually done with the what? Now it's actually done with the liquid metal border component. Okay, let's add back to the CTA button. Okay, inside that, I need to import it first. Okay, okay, now I need to pass a bunch of props. So border radius 999. Okay, so and then border width 2. After that, the theme is theme. And then opacity 1, speed so 1.2 scale 3. Okay, so inside that I need to pass the children. Okay, the children will be what inside div. Okay, class names, by the way, it will be cn. I want to provide some dynamic classes. For that purpose I need to provide the cn. Okay, class flex item center gap 2 px px6 py3 and rounded full. Okay, so now I need to provide the dynamic classes. Slide, fine. Slide busy linear bottom from zinc 100 by zinc 200 and to zinc 300. Okay, else not slide, so it will be busy linear. Why this are throwing? Okay, sorry, we need to pass this comma. Busy linear to bottom from zinc from zinc 800 to zinc 900. That's it. Inside that div, so I have to create one span. Inside a span I will pass the children. Okay, children, but cover the class first. Okay, so cn text sm font medium. After that, the transition colors slide text zinc 600 else text zinc 200. That's it. After the span I'll use the arrow what you have imported. Okay, arrow right. Okay, let's provide the class name. So the size 5 group hover translate x1 transition all and duration 300 and 300. That's it. Okay, so after that, so I will pass the condition is slide. Okay, first of all we need to use what? We use the cn function for make it dynamic, for using the dynamic classes, and may finally make it merge with the tailwind CSS. Okay, relax cn. Okay, sorry, that was my bad. I'm so sorry for it. Light is true, the text will be zinc 600. Text zinc 600, else text zinc 200. Okay, so yeah, let's head back to the hero sections. Now let's import it. Okay, so let's create. Okay, let's open another link. Okay, so inside that link, so I'll create the span inside a span. So I'll just see how it works. Okay, so after that, so I'll just use the arrow right. So okay, so inside the arrow right, sorry, arrow right, provide the class name. So size 4, group hover. Okay, I'll do the group hover, the translate x1. Okay, transition transform, and then finally duration 300. Duration 300. Duration 300. That's it. Okay, first of all, I want to provide the classes inside it. Okay, so href hash features. So under class group flex items center. So after the item center, gap2 px 6 and py3. Okay, so and then text sm font medium text jing 400, and I'll hover over it, text jing 100, text jing 100. Okay, so and then finally provide the transition colors. Transition color, it's not transition shadow, transition color. That's it. Okay, so finally see the result in the browser. Okay, so let's open up the browser. Okay, we have did everything for making these beautiful animations. Okay, so see how it works. So okay, so now we have actually created. Okay, let's move further. Okay, so let's collapse it. Now let's collapse the city. Now create the social props. Social prop. Okay, so let's one of the div inside that. So provide the class names. Margin top 16. Flex call. SM. When I'll raise the SM small devices, the flex will be row. Flex row. Items center. Justify center. And gap 4. That's it. Inside that, okay, create the div. Or the class name will be what? Flex items center, and gap 4. Okay, so so gap 4. Now I'll create the div. Set another divs. Okay, flex minus space x 3. Okay, why I'm doing this, you can see right now. You'll see it right now. Okay, so first of all, I'll use image source profile / image 01.zpg. Okay, alt user avatar. You will get all the images inside the public folder in GitHub repo. Okay, you don't need to get worried about it. Okay, so avatar, and class name. Okay, let's provide the class name. Size 10, rounded full, border 2, border zinc 950, over minus translate y1, transition object cover, and finally g1. Okay, now I will copy it for 5 times. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, everything is still the same except the z. Okay, so first of all, image 1, that will be image 2, and z2, second z3, and then sorry, the image 3, and then that will be z3. After that, image 4, and then z4, and then finally image 2, and then z5. That's it. Okay, let's open up the browser and see the result. Okay, so now we're getting an issue. Okay, this is showing one by one. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Okay, it will be flex. Now it will show perfectly. Great. Okay, and hover it will scale by 1. Okay, now what is next? Okay, so I'll create the div. Inside that div, so class name, height 8, width px, and then busy thing 800. Okay, by the way, that will be the self closing, so simply remove this. Okay, so after that I'll create another div, flex call, and then items start. It's okay, I'm not explaining anything inside that because you already know about all the Tailwind CSS classes, so that's why we don't need to take any kind of explanation. Okay, so it will become the redundant when I'll explain it. Okay, so dates, so and after that, so let's create class name. So inside that class name, so I want to provide the flex items center and gap1, enter and gap1. Okay, so let's open up this an array. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally 5. Map inside the map, so I will get the single element. Okay, I inside that, so I'll have the star plus fill yellow 500, and then text yellow 500, text yellow 500, size 4. Okay, now I need to pass the key as an I. That's it. Okay, so after that, get the span. Inside that span, so I need to provide 5.0. So then I need to provide the class names. Inside the classes, text link 400, font medium, margin left 1, and then finally text s. That's it. After that divs, so okay, so after the div, so I will create the p element. So inside a p element, okay, let's create trusted by, and then span 10,000 plus 10,000 plus developers. Okay, inside that p element I need to provide the classes. Okay, text sm, text zinc 500. Okay, so span, okay, inside an span, so okay, text zinc 300, text zinc 300. Okay, so then font medium, that's it. I think we're done. I guess we're done with the hero section. So okay, let's open up the browser and see the result. Yes, we're done with the hero sections. This is so cool. Now as you can see, how cool animation is getting there. Okay, why how can I get this cool animations? The cool scroll animation with the help of Linux. Okay, layout, by the way. Okay, this is so superpower. Okay, this providing the superpower inside our projects. Okay, so we have actually completed our hero section as well. So okay, so we have successfully completed with the hero section. Okay, let's close it and open up the test.tsx. Okay, page.js. Inside that, I want to create another component. Name should be impact section. Okay, so impact section. Now let's create the file inside the sections. Okay, first of all, I have to collapse for make it look clear. Okay, inside the component folder, inside the sections, I want to create this section which we have created right now. Okay, so it will be the impact section.tsx. That's it. So okay, let's create the structure or fc. So impact section. Now I want to import it inside the page.tsx. Okay, so okay, let's import the page. Okay, let's import inside the page.tsx. So okay, now successfully imported. Now I want to close it and work inside that. Okay, so okay, let's start from scratch. Okay, first of all, I need to import the matrix. Okay, so I want to import the matrix. So import import matrix from at the right slash constant. Okay, okay, let's visit the constant file and find the matrix. Okay, okay, so that one matrix. Sorry, I think matrix. Yes, that one. Okay, now we have already available the matrix inside our constant file. Okay, so first of all, we need to import it. Import inside the impact section. Okay, matrix. Okay, so that's it. Now we have imported the matrix. Now okay, let's design the UI for the impact section. Okay, now rename to section. Inside that, okay, so first of all, I want to provide the class name. So class name, so px6 and py24 and bz zinc 920 means opacity. Okay, so div class name max width 5 pixel, max width 5 pixel, mx02 max width 5 pixel, mx02. Okay, so that's it. Now I want to create the header, impact section header. Okay, impact section header. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so now let's create the div inside a div class. So not sorry, class name. Okay, so inside that class name, so I want to provide the text center margin bottom 12. Okay, now inside that I want to create p element. Okay, inside that with our impact. Okay, now let's start it with the class names. Okay, so text sm font medium. So and then text zinc 500. So and then uppercase tracking wader, and then margin bottom 4. Okay, now create the s2. So inside s2, so trusted by teams worldwide. Trusted by teams worldwide. Okay, now let's start it. Last name, so font display, text pixel. When I'll raise the MD, that means the medium device, the text became the 4XL. Font bold, text zinc 100, text zinc 100. After this, margin bottom 4. Okay, now after the s2, I want to create the p element. Okay, so inside a p, I want to provide the text. That means the contents, numbers that speaks for themselves. CY thousands source us. Okay, that's it. Now let's start it. Class name, so text zinc 500, not 50 by the 500. Max width LG mx02, and then text balance. Okay, so let's open up the browser and see. Let's verify it what we have created. Okay, I send that. Okay, so impact trusted by teams worldwide, the number that speak for themselves, and see 5,000 sources. Okay, after that, after the impact, okay, let's collapse it. Now create the matrix card. Okay, so open up the div and provide and style it. Class. Okay, class name, so grade calls to. And I'll raise the MD, the grid calls put gap 4. Okay, now okay, let's dope through the matrix what I have imported from matrix. Okay, so matrix dot map matrix dot map oops dot map. So inside that, so I loop through about the metric, so and then index. Okay, one of the deep. Okay, so first of all about the key index. Okay, so and then provide the class name, so inside that class pairing 6, so and then rounded to excel, this is zinc 900 and opacity 50. Okay, border zinc 800 plus 50. Okay, so when I'll hover over it, the border became border zinc 700 slash 50. So that when I'll hover bz zinc 900 slash 80. Okay, so and to provide the transition alls, duration 300 and group text center. After that, so I have to provide the relatives, so and then finally overflow hidden, so that it never gonna be overlap that it's never gonna overlap the current div. Okay, so okay, is that it? Well, let's get the subtle gradient on hover. Subtle gradient, yeah, gradient on hover. Okay, first of all, let's tell this div class name, so absolute insert 0 busy linear to top from zinc from zinc 500 slash 5 to transparent opacity 0, group hover and I'll group hover opacity 100. So and then what, so transition in opacity and then duration 300. I think this is quite a bit of enough. This is quite enough. Okay, oh okay, so that's it. This is a self-closing tag, by the way. I don't need that. Okay, so now let's create the div inside it, last name relative. Okay, inside that div, so I want to open a p. Okay, so and then property metrics dot below metric dot below. Okay, so let's style it last name, so font display text 3xl text 3xl. So when I raise the MD, the text become the 4xl and then the font bold. After that, text zinc 100 text zinc 100. So and then margin bottom 1. After that, group hover text white and transition color. Okay, transition sorry transition colors. I think I made a mistake. So transition color. Okay, so after the p element, so I'll create another p. So inside that, I'll pass the level metric dot level. Let's style it text sm font medium. Okay, so after the font medium, so text zinc 400. So and then margin bottom 1. Okay, so let's go. Now create another p element. Inside that, I will pass the description as the content metric description. Now let's style it, so text access. So and then text zinc 600. Okay, now we have completed our impact section as well. Okay, let's open up the browser and see the result. Okay, so yes, I can see. Okay, now we have successfully completed and see the result. Okay, so I think we have made a mistake in there, so this will be MD. Okay, sorry, it will be MD. So okay, let's open up the browser and see. Okay, now let's see. Now we have actually completed our impact section. Let's head back to the page.tsx and close that one and close that one as well. Okay, let's open up the page.tsx and then create the feature sections. Okay, features section. That's it. So now let's create this section file inside this section folder. Okay, feature section. That's it. .tsx. That's it. Okay, now make it client component. After that, okay, so we need to do a couple of things. First of all, before continue with this file, so first of all we need to install the motion. Okay, firmware motions. Okay, npm add motion. Okay, so after that I want to install the cart from the shared UI. Okay, so npm delx shared at latest add cart. Okay, let's wait and see. Okay, so both are successfully completed. So okay, let's close this and continue with the creating. Okay, so now import the motion from the motion/react. Okay, so and then import some logo from the Lucid React. Okay, Lucid React. Okay, so first one is jab, not cap by the way, jab. After that bar chart 3, layers. So and then arrow right. Okay, so after the arrow right, now let's also import the command. Okay, now I'll import from at the right slash component slash UI slash cart. Okay, now let's import the cart and cart content. Okay, so okay, let's import the from at the right slash constant. From the constant file I will import the integration logos. That's it. Okay, so export. Now let's create the our component export function and then featured sections. Okay, I said that. Okay, let's return this section. Inside that section I want to provide the id features. So that class name px6 py24. Okay, so that create the section header. Inside that section head. Okay, so let's open the motion deep. So okay, inside that I'll provide the bunch of attribute inside it. Okay, first of all, initial opacity 0. So and then y is 20. When I'll animate I think it would be better to use a wall in view. Okay, so for hero sections or never animate is perfect, but for others I think wall in view. When I view that particular section, at that moment it will be appear. Okay, while in view oops, sorry, while in view opacity 1. Okay, so and then y should become 0. After that the output, so it will run only once. Okay, once true. After that the transition duration 0.5 and the class name text center, and then margin bottom 12. Okay, let's open up this open up this motion divs and write this. Okay, first of all, inside that, so let's open the p element. Inside that p, so I'll create the features. Provide the class names, text sm, font medium, text zinc 500, yes, text zinc 500, uppercase, tracking wider, and margin bottom 4. Okay, so after that, so I have to create the h2 element. Inside that h2, I'll pass the everything you need to success. You need to succeed. Okay, now let's style this. So okay, so again font will be display text 3xl, okay. When I'll raise the medium device, that became the 4xl. Okay, so font bold. After that, texting 100, text zinc 100, and then so margin bottom 4, that's it. Let's create the another p element after the h2. Okay, and provide the content powerful features design to help you ship better products faster. Okay, now let's start it. Sorry. Okay, last name text zinc 500, max width LG, max width LG. So and then MX02, and text balance. Yeah, balance. That's it. Now, okay, let's import the things in paste.tsx. Okay, so if you want to verify, you can do that. So okay, let's open up the. Okay, first we need to run the server. Oh, sorry. Okay, okay, let's wait for the running the server. So okay, after the motion div, so I want to create another HTML div element. Inside that div, I want to pass class inside the class name. So it will be grade calls 1. Okay, on MD, so grade calls 5 and gaf 3. That's it. Now let's create another motion inside that. Okay, motion.div. Okay, first I'll provide the initial opacity 0. So and then while in view opacity 0, or sorry, opacity 1, y should be 0. After that, viewport again, so as like before once true. Okay, so transition duration 0.5 and delay will be 0.1. Okay, and then class name md the call span 3. Okay, that's it. Now okay, let's create the card. Okay, let's input or use the card. Inside that card, class name, so class name group, so heightful, the heightful overflow hidden, so and then so border zinc 800 slash 50. Okay, so after that basic zinc 900 slash 50. Okay, I'll hover the border zinc 700 slash 50. Okay, so transition all, so duration 300 and then rounded to excel, rounded to excel. That's it. Okay, inside that I'll use the card content. Okay, let's style it first to provide the padding 6. Okay, so the padding 6 and open up the div. Inside that divs flex item center item center, gap 3, and margin bottom 3. Okay, so again, so open up the motion deep, motion.deep. Okay, inside the motion.deep, so last name, size 10, so and then rounded excel, bz zinc 800, zinc 800, flex items center, justify center, justify center. That's it. After that, so and while in bo, so I need to provide the rotate. So I need to provide arrow below, so minus 0, minus 10, 10, then 0. Okay, so and then transition provide the duration for it, duration, sorry, duration 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. That's it. So inside that, I need to provide the bar set, bar chart 3, bar chart 3. Inside that, okay, let's style it. Last name, size 5, text zinc 400, text zinc 400. Okay, group. Oh, okay, when I'll do the group over, at that moment I just change the text color to zincs 400. Okay, so transition colors. That's it. Okay, after the motion, so I want to create the p element. Inside the p, and provide the real-time dashboard. Okay, let's start it. Font heading. So after that, font semi-bold. Okay, and then text zinc 100. Okay, let's go. Okay, after the div, so I want to create another p element. Okay, so let's provide the class name first. So I provide the text zinc 500, text zinc 500. So and then text sm, margin bottom, so margin bottom 5. Okay, now let's provide the content inside it. Okay, content track every metric that matters with customizable dashboard, dashboard. That's it. Okay, after the feed element, I'll create the div inside the divs. Okay, let's start it. Okay, rounded excel. Okay, so and then what then border sorry, border zinc 100. Okay, bz zinc 900, zinc 900. After that, pairing 4, and then overflow hidden. Okay, let's go. Okay, so deep, so now style it. Last name, so last name. Okay, so class will be flex item center, justify between. Okay, so and then margin bottom, margin bottom 4. Okay, that's it. Inside that, I will create another dips. Okay, yes, then flex gap 1.5, 1.5 for x and y. Okay, now create some HTML inline deep element. Okay, so those are the self-closing deep elements. So provide this time class name, size 2.5. Okay, rounded full, busy zinc 700. Okay, let's copy for 3 times. That's it. After that, okay, after that dips, I have to create another dips. Okay, so last name, flex items, sorry, so it will be flex items center, and then gap 3. Okay, so gap 3, let's create the motion dot deep inside that. Okay, so let's create the motion dot deep. First of all, let me provide the class name flex items center, so and then gap 1.5. I think 1.5 is quite enough. Okay, so initial opacity. Okay, so opacity 0. While in bo opacity 1. opacity 1. Okay, opacity 1. So and then viewport, I provide the viewport for once through. Okay, so and then provide the transition. Okay, so transition delay, so delay 0.5. It's okay. Now let's work inside the divs. Okay, first one, create the one self closing div. Sorry, not dope. Div. Let's style it. Size 2. After that, rounded hole. Okay, and then busy zinc 400. After the div, so okay, let's open up the span element. Inside that span, I have to provide the users. Okay, now let's style it. Class with tax access. Tax access. So and then tax jing 500. That's it. Now I want to duplicate this. Okay, now let's change the content, by the way, change the content to revenue. Okay, so it will be the 600 and content to the revenue. Okay, after that, okay, so revenue. After that, I want to create the animated matrix row. Okay, animated matrix row. Okay, let's open up the deep class names. Okay, it will be great calls 3. Okay, gap 3. So and then margin bottom 4. Okay, let's go. Okay, now and open up the array. Inside that array, and create the label. Label will be total users. So and then value 12.4k. There's since what at first plus 12%. Okay, let's copy for the 3 times and change the total to the revenue. And then that will be $48k. 38. Oh, okay, 48k and since 8%. After that, so it has a conversion value 3.5. 3.2%. So after that, sales will be only 2%. That's it. Now I look through map, metric and index. Okay, so and then open up the motion dot deep. Inside that deep, so must provide the key. Okay, so key is index. So after that, class name busy zinc 900/50. Okay, then initial opacity 0, and after that y 10. While in view opacity 1 y 0. Opacity 1 y 0. Okay, and then use the viewport once through. Okay, then finally provide the transition delay 0.3 times I, sorry, okay, plus I times 0 0.1, 0 0.1. That's it. Oh, okay. So insert it first into your p element inside the p. So okay, let's provide the metric value, Okay, so metric dot value. Okay, now let's style it. Class name, sorry, class name. Inside the class name. What else pass? Okay, text zinc. So text zinc 500. So and then text access. After that, margin bottom 1. Okay, that's cool. After the p element, I need to take a div. Okay, set that div. So I'll do later and transfer line to provide this type. Okay, text item center, items. I think item center is not going to work in there, so I will provide the baseline. If you don't know anything about the item center, based on all of those work, okay, those are the simple basics CSS. Okay, you need to know about it for continuing this tutorial. Okay, you can consider it as a requirement for continuing this tutorial. Okay, baseline. So and then gap 1.5. That's it. Inside that, sorry, we did a mistake. Okay, it will be label. Okay, inside the div, so let's create an span. Inside that span, I want to pass the metric dot value. Okay, now let's style it. Class name, so text zinc 100, text zinc 100, font semi-bold, and text sm. Okay, after the text sm, so okay, motion dot span. Inside the motion dot span, so okay, first of all I want to style it. Okay, so provide the class name first. Text zinc 400, text access. Okay, so and then animate. When it will become animate, opacity. Again, I have to provide the array of values. Oh, okay. So those are the simple frame motion. So you can provide the value in a single way, or you can provide the array of values. Okay, 0 0.5, 1, and then 0 0.5. Transition. Okay, so I provide the transition. Okay, so duration 2, and then repeat. Repeat will be the number dot positive infinity. Okay, so metric dot sense. That's it. Okay, now create another motion. Okay, so it will be it animated bar chart. Let's create the animated bar chart. Okay, so first of all, okay, open up the div. Okay, so let's style it. Class names, flags, items. Okay, before writing that, I want to show you how it looks, what I have created. Okay, inside that. Okay, still we have created that one. Now we are creating that part. Okay, start part. Okay, let's do flags, items, and gap 1.5. So and then height will be 16. Okay, inside that, so I have to create array of balloons. Okay, 35, 55, 40. So and then 75, 50, 85, 60, 70, 45, 90, 65, and 80. 65 and 80. I'll map through over it. Those are the height. Okay, map through over it, or height and index. Okay, motion dot. Now I need to create the motion div again. Motion dot div. Motion dot div. Now key will be index. So after that, class names flex one, busy, linear, busy linear, top, from, sorry, not from zinc 700 to zinc 500. Okay, and then rounded same. After that, origin bottom. After that, I want to set the origin to the bottom. Origin bottom. Okay, let's go. Now provide the initial attribute. Okay, so scale y 0. Initial scale y 0. Okay, and while in bio, scale y height divide by 100. Okay. What else first? Then barefoot once through, and then the transition duration 0.6, and then I want to provide the delay. Before providing delay, let's put the comma. Delay 0.5 plus 1 times 0.04. Okay, so and then each animation type each out. Okay, let's go. After the transition, and to provide another while in hover attribute, while hover attributes, and while hover scale y 1, and then transition duration 0.2. That's it. Okay. Oh, okay, let's open up this motion div. Inside that, okay, so that one is self-closing, by the way, so we don't need it. That one is self-closing. Okay, so after that div, so I'm going to create the animated line under it. Okay, animated line underneath. Okay, now create. Okay, now create the motion dot div. Okay, inside that div, so by the way, that one also with the self-closing. I don't need it. Okay, so class, provide the class names. Inside the class name, so height 1 pixel. Okay, busy linear to right, from transparent from transparent via zinc. Okay, via zinc 600 to transparent and margin top 3. Okay, so let's create the initial attribute. Okay, so scale x always 0, and then while in hover, while in behind, so scale x is 1. Scale x is 1. Okay, before once through, and then provide the transition duration 1, and delay 0.8. That's it. Okay, now after that div, that one is card to performance performance narrower to calls. Okay, so let's open up the motion div once again. Motion.div. Inside that, I want to pass a pass of attribute. Just like if we already know that. Okay, so initial. Please don't try to memorize the code. Okay, try to understand. If you don't know anything about each of those what I'm writing, please search at ChatGPT or search at Google and try to understand the meaning of it. Because okay, right now consider it, you already know about all of those things because you are building the landing page of SaaS. Okay, opacity 0 and then y 20. So while in view opacity 1 y 0 viewport. Okay, so viewport once. Okay, once through. After that, transition duration 0.5 and then delay 0.2. Okay, the class names. And always the MD call span 2. Okay, that's one of the card. Inside the card, I need to provide a bunch of CSS classes. By the way, 10 classes: rope, heightful, workflow hidden, border zinc 800 by 50. So 800 by 50 and busy zinc 900 by 50. After that, I'll hover border zinc 700 by 50 and I'll hover busy zinc I think I don't need to provide. Oh, I thought so. It don't require. Okay, so let's provide the transition all and then duration 300 after that rounded to excel that's it. Okay, let's go. So inside that I need to create the card content. Okay, inside the card content I will pass the class names. Okay, so padding 6 flex call. Okay, so and then heightful that's it. Inside the card content, let's open up the deep. Okay, so provide the class name as well. Flex item center. So and then gap 3 margin bottom 3 as well. Okay, now open up the motion.divs. Okay, inside that I need to pass the CSS classes and some built-in attribute from the motion. Okay, class names size 10 rounded excel busy link 800. After that, flex items center and justify center. Okay, animate animate scale and provide arrow below 1 1.1 1. That's it. Provide the transition. Okay, for duration will be 2 and the repeat will be number dot positive infinity and then each means the type of the animations. Okay, it will be each in out. That's it. Now let's write something inside the div. Okay, so it will be jap inside the jap. Okay, let's provide the class names size 5 x jing 400 group hover text jink 200 transition colors. Okay, that's it. After the motion div, okay, I want to create the one HTML element. Okay, so okay, let's p element blazing fast. Okay, now let's provide the style for it. Font heading, font semi bold, and then text zinc 100, text zinc 100. Okay, okay, so after the div, okay, so after the div, create the p elements. So okay, so and then inside the p, optimized for speed at any scale. Okay, so now let's style it. Last name. So okay, so first of all, text jink, provide the color, text jink 500, and then text sm margin bottom 5. That's it. Okay, so now we create the div. Inside the div, so let's make it margin left auto, margin left auto. Okay, so after the margin left, if I want to create another div inside that div, so let's provide the style for it. Flags items baseline. Okay, and then gap 2, margin bottom 3. Okay, let's create the motion dot span. Inside the motion dot span, I need to provide a bunch of CSS class, Tailwind classes, and the boolean attribute from there, from a motion. Okay, first of all, I need to provide the class name, text for Excel, font display, and then font bold, and text zinc 100, text zinc 100. Okay, so and the initial opacity 0. So after that, when while in view, okay, so when while in view, opacity 1, viewport once through. Okay, so 99.9% uptime. Okay, so for the class name, text zinc 500, text sm. Okay, so after that, okay, let's verify the things what we have created. Okay, is that so okay, now as you can see, now we created only that one. Okay, so let's move further. Sorry, so we did a big mistake. So that won't be the margin left auto, it will be the margin top auto. That's it. Okay, now after that, so okay, so let's open up the div and provide the class name. So inside the class name, height will be 2. Okay, so height 2, and then bg zinc 800. Sorry, bg zinc 800. After that, rounded full, and then the overflow hidden. Okay, that's it. So inside that, I want to create the self-closing motion div. So by the way, it will be self-closing. Okay, inside that, let's provide the class name. So height will be full. Okay, and then the busy linear. Okay, linear to right, busy linear to right, and then from zinc 500 to zinc 300, then rounded full. That's it. After that, okay, let's provide the initial attribute. Inside that initial attribute, I want to provide the width 0%. Sorry, not windows, width 0%, width 0%, width 0%. And then so initial. Okay, sorry, I'm so sorry. Making duplicate of initial, so sorry. So while in view, so it will go width will be 99.99%. 99.9%. After that, viewport will be the ones row. Okay, and then transition, provide the transition. Okay, duration 1.5, and then delay will be 0.3. After that, the type of the animation will be each in out, each out. Okay, each out, each out. Okay, okay, type of the animation will each out. That's it. Okay, let's open up the browser and see the result. Okay, so by the way, as you can see that, so this is the perfect result we're getting. Why color is not showing? Okay, from Zing 500, busy linear to right, busy linear. Okay, hideful. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm making a mistake. Now it will become visible. Okay, as you can see, so it's showing so perfect. Okay, so now let's create the third part. Okay, call up this and create the third card. Card 3. Card 3 keyboard shortcut. Okay, so well, again, so let's open up the motion.deep. Inside that deep, okay, first initial value of this motion, or sorry, initial value of this deep will be opacity 0. So and then y is 20. Okay, so after that, so while in view opacity, sorry, opacity 1, and then y 0. So that viewport once through. Okay, so and then transition, duration 0.5, and then delay 0.3. Okay, really I'll provide the class name. So with the md call span. Oh, okay, so now let's create the card inside that. Okay, let's create the card. So inside the card, I need to provide the class name like before what we did. So inside others. Okay, so let's provide the class name. So class name will make it group heightful. Okay, so and then overflow hidden. After the overflow hidden border zinc 800/50, and then busy zinc 900/50. Okay, when I'll hover over it, border zinc 700/50. Transition all, duration 300, and then rounded to excel. Okay, so okay, let's open up the card content. Inside the card content, again, I need to provide some CSS classes. Okay, so how can I do? First of all, so provide, okay, so first we'll provide the heading 6. Okay, and then flex call heightful. That's it. Inside that, I will create the div. Okay, now provide the class name inside that divs. Flex item center and gap 3 margin bottom 3. Okay, that's it. Okay, so let's create the motion div once again. So motion div, inside the motion div, I need to first a bunch of props. Okay, first of all, while hover y -2. Let's provide the classes size 10, rounded excel, busy zinc 800 flex item center and justify center. Okay, now inside that, let's create the command. Okay, so provide the class name size 5, text zinc 400, growth, the growth hover, text zinc 200. Okay, transition colors, that's it. Okay, let's verify it. As you can see that this is good looking command icon. Okay, after that, create a p element after the motion div. Okay, so it's sorry, inside that p element, remember the keyboard first, and then provide the class name. So font heading, so, and then font semibold. Okay, font semibold, and then text zinc 100. That's it. After the div, so I have to create another p element. So inside that p, let's provide the class name. Okay, so text zinc 500, text sm, and margin bottom 5. Okay, so tags will be, every action is just a key stroke away. Okay, so after this, let's create an immediate div. Inside that, about the class names, flex items center, gap 2, so, and then margin top out. Okay, so command, so, and then key, command. Okay, so dot map key and index. Okay, so let's create the motion.div. Inside that, okay, let's pass the key first. Key equal what? Key equal index. Okay, so key will be what? Key will be key. Provide the key will be index. So after that, class names, flex items center, justify center, size 12, rounded, excel bz zinc 800/80, border zinc 700/50, and then shadow lg. Okay, that's great. The initial value will be what? Y0. Okay, so now animate y 0 -4, and then 0. Okay, so let's provide the transition duration 1.5. Okay, let's provide the delay index times 0.15. Repeat number at positive infinity. Okay, so repeat delay. Okay, that will be 2. That's it. After that, while hover, scale 1.1 y -4. That's it. So inside the things inside it, okay, so let's make it class name. So nice food x white. On inside the response, so I need to provide the key. Okay, let's provide the class name. So text zinc 300. So and then font mono. Okay, so and then finally provide the text lg. Let's see. Okay, now it's showing perfectly fine. That's it. Showing perfectly fine. Okay, that's it. Now let's create the card for okay. In integrations. Okay, so first of all, apply the motion.deep. So insert that initial opacity 0 y20, while in bo sorry while in bo opacity 1 y0. After that, bo port once row. Okay, so and then provide the transition duration 0.5. So delay 0.4, and then provide the class names md call span 3. That's it. So inside that, okay, let's open up the card, provide the class name. So yeah, hope right full just like before. Okay, so you already know about it. Overflow hidden border zinc 800/50 bz zinc 900/50 over border zinc 700/50 transition alls duration 300 rounded to excel. Okay, let's go to the card. Let's open up the card content. Okay, let's provide the class names padding 6. So and then flex call height full. Okay, let's open up the deep inside the card content and provide the class name. So flex items center gap 3, and then margin bottom 3. Okay, so now let's create the motion deep inside it. Motion deep. Okay, so let's put the class name size 10 rounded excel bz zinc 800 flex item center justify center while hover. Okay, rotate 180 transition duration 0.5 duration 0.4. That's it. Okay, let's create the layers. This is the layers icon which is imported from the Lucid React. Okay, so let's provide the class name inside it, the size 5. So and then text jing 400, text jing 400, group over text jing 200, text jing 200. Okay, so and then transition colors. That's it. After the motion div, so let's get the p element. Inside the p element, oh, I will write 100 plus integrations. Okay, so class name, font heading, font semi-bold, text jing 100, text jing 100. Okay, after the div, let's get the p element. Sorry, not div, p element. Inside that p, so I will first the connect with tools you already use daily. Okay, so let's style it. Text jing 500, text sm margin bottom 5. Okay, that's it. So after that, let's open up the div and provide the class name, class names. Okay, so inside it, so greet calls 8. Okay, gap 2 margin top auto. That's it. Okay, let's loop through the integration which we have imported from the constant file. Okay, integration logo dot map. So and then I will get the items, so and then index after that. So and then motion, sorry, not motion.div. Okay, so inside the motion.div, so I will first I and the initial. So the initial will opacity will be 0. So and then y will be 10. Okay, so after that, while in bio opacity 1, y 0. That's it. And then provide the viewport once more. Okay, once 2. Okay, so and then provide the transition duration 0.3, delay 0.3 plus I, and times 0.05. Okay, so click the while hover. Inside the while hover, I'll pass the scale below. Okay, scale 1.15. So and then y -2. So let's provide the class name aspect square and then rounded lg border zinc 800 bg zinc 800/50. Okay, so flags items center, justify center, cursor pointer. Okay, now inside the div, so I'll create another divs. Okay, I'll create another div and provide the class names. Okay, class name will be size 6, that text lg, so and then font bold. Okay, so inside that I'll simply render the item dot icon. That's it, nothing's big deal in there. Okay, after the div, I'll create the motion dot button. Okay, I'll create the motion dot button. Inside that motion dot buttons, first of all I need to provide the bunch of attribute from the motion, from the framework motion. Okay, first attribute is while hover x x6. Okay, so and then class name, provide the class name. So class name margin top 4, and then flags item center gap 1.5. So after that tax sm. Okay, tax zinc what, that zinc 500. So and then hover over it, the tax became the zinc 300. Okay, so the final provide the transition in colors, that's it. Inside that the view all integrations arrow right. Okay, let's provide the class name size 4. Okay, now we have successfully completed our feature section. That was quite a bit of bigger than before. Okay, let's open up the browser and see the result what we have created. Okay, isn't this cool animation? Oh, wow. And hover over it, as you can see the scale below. Okay, so yeah, we have completed our feature section. All right, so now we have successfully completed our feature sections. Okay, let's close it and head back to the page.tsx. Okay, inside that, okay, let's create another component named the testimonials section. Okay, first of all, we need to create this component testimonials. Okay, inside the components folder, inside the sections. Okay, let's create this component testimonial section.tsx. That's it. Okay, so okay, let's create the structure of this component testimonial. Inside that, okay, let's open up the so let's open up the page.tsx. Inside that, let's import the testimonial component. Okay, that's it. No error is gone away. That's it. Okay, let's close the page.tsx and work on our testimonial file. Okay, so first of all, we need to convert into client component. Okay, client component. Okay, so that's it. After that, let's import the motion from React. Okay, so after that, let's import the import testimonials from the constants. Okay, so I have already provided all the constant content inside the constant file. Okay, you just need to import it from the GitHub and attach inside your project. That's it. You just literally use it. Okay, you don't need to do anything. Okay, so after that, let's create the 3 global variable. First one is first column. Okay, so and then testimonial dot slice 0 3 const second columns equal testimonial dot slice and then 3 to 6. Okay, finally we will create the third column. Okay, inside that, let's provide the okay, let's slice it for rest. Okay, dot slice. Okay, inside that I will pass the 6 and 9. That's it. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's create the one logos array. Tech corp. I don't know what the exact pronunciation of is, tech corp or tech chorp. And then innovate. After that, the next gen. So after the quantum, and then velocity, and then finally apex. Okay, that's it. Okay, inside the component, let's remove everything. Deep, so not a deep, it will be the sections. So inside the section I need to provide id testimonials, and then class name px6, and then py24, busy zinc 900/50. That's it. Okay, let's create the div. Inside that, provide the max width 6 XL MX auto. Okay, let's create the motion div inside it. Motion.div. Okay, so now provide the attribute initial, not inert, initial. Okay, so the initial provide the opacity. Opacity will be 0 and y will be 20. After that, so while in BO, opacity 1, so and then y 0. Transition duration 0.8, delay 0.1, and each will be array. So 0.16, 1, 0.3, 3, and 1, and 1. That's it. Okay, so for the transition, I need to provide the viewport inside the viewport, so it will be once through. Okay, so after the once, let's provide the class names. Flex call items center, justify center. Okay, so max width XL MX auto. Okay, margin bottom 12. That's it. Okay, so let's create a div. Inside that, provide the class name. Okay, so first of all, I need to provide the border. Color of the border will be zinc. Border zinc 800. Okay, py 1.5. Okay, px4 rounded full, and then text sm text zinc 400. Testimonials. Okay, so after this, I want to create the s2. Inside s2, I will pass the what our users say. Okay, let's provide the style for it. Okay, so font display. After the font display, text 4XL. In MD, text 5XL. Font bold. Okay, text zinc. Okay, text 500 margin top 6. Okay, so and then text center, and then tracking light. Sorry, not light, tracking tight, by the way. After that, okay, let's open up the P element. Inside that P, see what our customers have to say about us. Okay, inside the P element, okay, let's provide the classes text center. So and then margin top 4, text zinc 500, text LG, text balance, balance. Okay, that's it. After the motion div, okay, after the motion div, let's open up the div. Provide the class names. Flex justify center gap 6, and then click the mask. Okay, inside the mask, okay, let's create the linear gradient to bottoms. Okay, so transparent black 25%. After that, black 75%. After that, about the transparent. Okay, so basically I'm creating the mask with the help of, okay, this is the custom mask. Without using the Tailwind CSS built-in marks, I'm creating the custom mark. Okay, within a within square brackets. Okay, transparent. That's it. And then max height 185. After that, overflow hidden. Okay, that's it. Let's create the testimonial column. Okay, I still haven't created this component. I'll create zone testimonials columns, testimonial column, testimonials equal first column. The duration will be 15. Okay, let's copy it for the 3 time. Okay, for the second one, I'll pass the second column. For the third one, I'll pass the third column. Third column. Okay. So, and then, okay, let's provide the class names. By default hidden. When I'll raise the empty, it will be block. For the third one, also provide the class name hidden. When I raise the LG, then it will be block. Okay, that's it. Now it's time to create these testimonial columns. Inside the UI folder, I'll create it. Okay, testimonials column dot tsx. Okay, first of all, it will be client component. After that, import the React from React. Input motion. Okay, let's define the interface. Props text string image testimonial. Okay, image string name string and then role string. That's it. After that, create the component export const testimonials columns. Okay, so into one of the props, class name will be a string. Okay, and then testimonials will be testimonial array. Okay, then finally provide the duration will be optional, duration number. Okay, last name testimonial and duration. Okay, so let's open the divs inside. Sorry, inside that div, so I need to pass last name. That's it. Inside that, so okay, let's open the motion.div. Okay, after that, animate translate y minus 50%, transition duration or 10. After that, okay, provide the repeat property. Okay, so the repeat property will be the number infinity, number dot positive infinity. So and then each, define the each linear. Okay, and the finally repeat type will be loop. That's it. Okay, I simply provide the class name. Inside the class will be flex call. So and then gap 6 and pairing bottom 6. Okay, so let's open the curly braces. At the same time, also open the square bracket inside that. Okay, so spread, let's use the spread operator and then create an array. Okay, inside that array I'm going to pass it 2 dot and fill that array with a 0, array element with 0. So and then map through over it underscore then index. Okay, so after that react fragment. Okay, inside that. Okay, so let's provide the key. Inside the key I'll pass the index. Okay, let's loop through testimonials dot map. Let's destructure the tags image name and role. Let's define the index as well. Okay, so and open up this. Okay, after opening up, so sorry, so let's provide the class name padding 8 rounded excel rounded to excel border zinc 800/50. So and then bz zinc 900/50, and then backdrop blur sm max width access width full shadow lg shadow black 20 opacity 20. Okay, sorry, you need to provide the key as well. Fill the index inside that. Okay, let's open the p. Inside the p element I'll pass the text last name text zinc 300. Okay, leading relaxed. After the p element, so I will create the d inside that deep element. Okay, let's provide the style flex item center and gap 3 margin top 6. Okay, so let's first the image img with image from the next width 40 height 40. So source image alt name. Okay, so and then also provide the class names size 10 rounded full object cover ring 2, and then provide the color of the ring zing 800. Okay, I'll provide the class name flex call. Okay, so flex call. Let's create the spawn element. Inside that spawn element, let's provide the name. Class name, font medium, text zing 100. Tracking, tracking, tracking tight and leading 5. Leading 5. Okay, after that, let's create another span. Okay, and inside this span, let's provide the role. Okay, that's it. Now install it. Text sm, text zinc, the color of the tags zinc 500, leading 5. Okay, that's it. Leading 5. So yeah, now let's head back to the testimonial section. You can import it. Okay, after the testimonial div, let's create another divs. Okay, so provide the class names. Okay, so margin top 16, margin top 16, heading top 16, border top. Okay, border zinc 800, border zinc 800, border zinc 800 by 50. Okay, so inside that, let's create an p element. Inside that p, so let's create the text trusted by industry leaders. Okay, class names, text center, text sm, text zinc 500, margin bottom 8. Okay, so what is next? Class name. So after the class, so it will be the relative, overflow, hidden. Again, let's create the mask. To be linear, gradient. To right, transparent, black 20%, black 80%, transparent. Okay, so inside that, let's create the motion div, motion.div. Okay, so let's see about the class name, flex, gap 12, empty gap 16, gap 16. Okay, animate, animate x will be what? 0%, from 0% to minus 50%. Sorry, so now let's provide the transition. Okay, so transition x will be inside that duration will be 20. Okay, the repeat number dot positive infinity. Okay, each linear. Okay, so it's linear. Now let's create this logos. So and then logos, map, logo index, span. Okay, inside the span, e index. Okay, after that provide the class name. So class name will be text excel font semi-bold. Okay, so text zinc 700, text zinc 700, white space, string 0. logo. That's it. Okay, so now it's actually completed our testimonial section. So okay, let's head back to the browser and see what we have built. Okay, so I think so. Okay, so we need to configure the something inside our next.config file because host name. So we are using the images start. Okay, okay, let's copy that host name. Copy. Let's open up the next.config.txt. Okay, so inside it, images, remote patterns, host name. Okay, host name is what? Host name is images.unsplash.com. Images.unsplash.com protocol https. That's it. Okay, let's put the comma. Okay, so on the tab. Okay, so it's taking reload. Okay, let's wait a bit. Okay, this actually compiled. Okay, let's open up the browser and see. Okay, so I'm getting. Okay, don't worry, it's a hydration error. Okay, so it's an hydration error. I'll resolve its own. Now let's see the result of what we have created. Okay, this is the testimonial section. So we have created 3 columns. Okay, as you can see, so we have created first, second, and third column. So everyone's is sloping. Okay, this is completely low. Okay, first of all, we need to resolve this. Okay, so I figure out the issue. Okay, where error is happening. Okay, let's head back to the code inside the feature sections. Okay, so I have created some white spaces inside there. So okay, let's remove it. Okay, so let's head back to the browser. Now it's NXT. Now you can see that error has gone. Okay, so let's head back to the code editors and close it. Okay, now open up the face.tsx. Okay, inside the, we have successfully completed our testimonial section. Let's create the pricing sections. Okay, so pricing section. Okay, okay, so now we need to create this component inside. Oh, I want to create the component inside the section folder. Okay, so inside the section, so let's create the component. Will be the pricing section. That's it. .tsx. Okay, rfce pricing sections. Okay, now import inside there. Okay, it will be what? Okay, let's no, we need to import it. That's it. Okay, let's close it. We don't need to open up the page.tsx anymore. Okay, let's delete that one as well. Okay, first of all, okay, I will import the plans from the constants. After that, import the tag from the Lucid React, and finally import the link. Put the link from next/link. Okay, that's it. Now let's remove everything. Create the section. Inside that section, provide the ID. Okay, so it will be the pricing. Then provide the class names. Class name will be ps6 py24. That's it. Okay, inside that, let's provide the div. Class name max width 5xl mx02. Okay, so now now create the section header. Okay, div, open up the div. Inside that div, so let's provide some CSS classes. Text center, and margin bottom 16. Margin bottom will be 16. After that, let's create the p element. Inside that p, call the pricing. Okay, let's provide the class name. So text sm font medium. So after that, text zinc 500 uppercase, tracking wider, and then margin bottom 4. Okay, after the pricing, okay, let's create the h2 element. Provide the text simple, transparent pricing. Okay, last name, font display. So and then text for Excel, MD text 5 Excel. Okay, so provide the font bold, text zinc 100 and margin bottom 4. That's it. Okay, let's create the fee after this too. Okay, no hidden fee, no surprises. Source the plan that works for you. Okay, provide the class name. So text zinc 500 max width XL MX O2. Text balance and text LG. That's it. Okay, so after that div, let's get the pricing grid. Div, inside that div, okay, let's provide the class names. Grid MD, the grid calls tree, gap 6. Okay, inside that, okay, let's go through the plans.map plan index. Okay, let's open up the div. Key will be index. Okay, so let us forward the class name. Oh, okay, I'll provide some dynamic classes. That's why I'll import the CN, or inside that CN I'll provide all the classes with dynamic classes. At the same time there's some normal classes of Tailwind CSS. Okay, so first of all I pass the normal classes, pairing 8, rounded, rounded to Excel, border, flex call, height full. Okay, plan dot highlighted, pro, busy, zinc 100, border zinc 100, else busy zinc 900 slash 50, border zinc 800 slash 50. Okay, so well, let's put the plan's header. Plan header. Inside the plan header, let's create the div class name. So margin bottom 6. Okay, after the margin inside inside that div, I want to create the S3 element inside that S3. So okay, so let's provide the plan.name. Okay, class name, provide the class name. Class name will be, again I will provide some dynamic classes. Okay, so CN font heading, text Excel, font semi bold, and then margin bottom 2. Okay, after that plans plan.highlight one is true, text zinc 900, text zinc 900 else, text zinc 100, text zinc 100. Okay, okay, after the S3 element, okay, so I need to create the P element. Okay, inside that P, so I'll provide the description, plant dot description. Let's style it, text CN, text sm plan dot highlight text zinc 600 else text zinc 500. That's it. Okay. After that dips, okay, so I'll create the price dip plus margin bottom 6. Okay, so after the margin bottom, okay, let's create the spawn element. Inside that spawn, so I'll provide the line dot price. Okay, so inside that, let's provide the css class element classes by the way, so sorry. Okay, font display text 4xl font bold. Okay, so plan dot highlight and highlight true. At that moment, text zinc 900 else text zinc 100. Okay, after the price, I open another span. Inside the span, I will provide the period plan dot period class name. So again, there will be inside the cn folder, sorry, inside the cn functions, class name tags plan dot highlight text zinc 600 else, sorry, else text zinc 500. Let's create the feature. Okay, so ul provide the class names. Okay, so space y3 margin bottom 8 flex 1. Okay, so okay, let's look to the plant dot features dot map feature index. Okay, so list the index class names flex items start, so and then gap 3 set l1. Okay, let's use the check class name cn inside it. Okay, inside the cs functions size 5 string 0 plan dot highlighted. So based on the plan dot highlighted point, the plan dot highlighted is true at that moment, text zinc 900 else text zinc 400. Okay, so let's get this span. Inside the span, I will pass the feature. Okay, now style this. So it will be inside the cn functions text assets line dot highlight text zinc 700 else text zinc 400. Okay, well, let's create the cta. Okay, so let's put the href. I'll pass the hash. Okay, so provide the class name. So class will be block. By the way, so it will be inside the cn functions. I'll pass log with full py3 px6 text center rounded full font medium text as transition, sorry, transition colors, margin left auto, plan dot, highlight it. Based on that one is true, and I will do the busy zinc 900 x zinc 100 over busy zinc 800 or busy zinc 800. So tax zinc 100, and I'll hover busy zinc 700, busy zinc 700. Okay, that's it. Inside the link, I'll pass the plain.ct. Plain.ct. That's it. So I think we have successfully completed the pricing section as well. So, okay. So okay, let's check what we are, what else remain. Okay, let's open up the browser. Is a testimonial, and that one is the pricing section. Okay, you can see that how cool is that. I've created a good looking premium levels pricing sections. Okay, so yes, we have successfully completed the pricing sections. Okay, so let's open up the code editor. Okay, and close it because we have successfully completed the pricing section, so we don't need to open it once again. Okay, let's close it and open up the base.tsx. Inside that, so I'll create the CTA sections. CTA section. Okay, so let's create this this component inside the section folder. Inside that, okay, let's create this CTA section. Okay, that's cool. Wrap C CTA section. Okay, now we need to import inside the face.tsx. Okay, so that it's never going to throw any kind of error. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, let's remove, not remove, let's close it. Okay, now I will work inside that file. Okay, first of all, we don't need it. I'll import the link from next slash link. That's it. Import arrow right from the Lucid React. Okay, then I will import liquid CTA button. Okay, I have already created that button. So when I created the hero section at that moment, I have created that liquid CTA button. Okay, now I'll reuse it. Okay, so let's remove, I don't need it. Section, set that section for by the class names px, px6, py, py24. Okay, so let's create the dips. Class names max width 3xl mx auto text center. Okay, let's go. Let's create the s2 elements. Now provide the content, the ready to get started. That's it. Now class name, provide the class name. So font will be display text for Excel. When I'll raise the MD, that means the medium device, then the text become the 5XL. Okay, so after the font became the bold text zinc 100, and then finally provide the margin bottom 6. That's it. Okay, so let's put up the p elements. So and join thousands of team already building better products with our platform. Start your free trial today. Okay, now let's provide the class names. Tax LG, tax Jing 500, margin bottom 10. text balance, text balance. Okay. So the few elements, I will create the div elements and provide the classes. Okay, inside that, flex, flex column, and always the sm flex row. Okay, so items center, justify center, gap 4. Okay, let's go. Now link. Set the link, so I provide href hash pricing. Liquid CTA button. Inside that, I will pass the start free trial, start free trial text. Okay, so after the link, I will create another link. Okay, inside that, I will pass the href, so it will be hash last name growth flex items center gap 2 px6 py3 text sm font medium text zinc 400 text zinc 400, and I'll hover over it the text zinc 100 transition colors. Okay, so inside that, so I'll create the one span element. Span element. Inside that span, the content will be a schedule, a demo. That's it. Now class names. Okay, I don't need to provide any kind of tags inside the any kind of class name inside the span tag. So that, so the arrow right. Okay, so arrow right. What the class names? Class names will be size 4, group hover, translate x 1, transition transform, duration 300. Okay, so let's open up the browser and verify it what we have created. These are cool CTA buttons, CTA section. Okay, so all right, so we have successfully completed the CTA section. Okay, let's head back to the page.tsx. Now it's time to create the footer sections. Okay, so page.tsx, set the page.tsx. So let's create the footer section. That's it. Let's open up the folder structure inside the component, inside the sections. I'll create the footer section, the section.tsx, and that's it. Okay, RFC footer section. Okay, now import the footer inside the page.tsx, mean our home page. Okay, so that's it. Let's head back to the footer section. We don't need to do anything inside the page.tsx. Okay, so let's close it. First of all, I want to import the link from next/link. After that, so I'll import a couple of social logo from the Lucy React. And that is it will show you the deprecation versions. Okay, so don't worry. So you can use it still. You can use the deprecated logo as well. Okay, GitHub it's deprecated. That's showing the line through over the text. Okay, don't worry. Still, you can use the deprecation content. Twitter, LinkedIn. That's it. For that, so I'll import the footer from advert/constant. Okay, I'll import the footer link. Okay, so let's import the footer links. Yes. Import the image from next/image. That's it. Okay, so let's remove everything. Create this section. By the way, let's rename it to footer. last name. So px6 py16. So py16. After that, border top, border zinc 900. Okay, so let's go to deep. So probably the text max width 5 pixel, 5 pixel mx auto. Okay, inside that. Okay, so let's open up the dips. Okay, inside that dip. Okay, first of all, provide the class names. Greet calls to empty devices. Greet calls for and gap 8. Margin bottom 12. Let's go to brand. For the brand, let's go to deep. Class names. Call span 2. MD call span 1. Okay, so after that, add the link. Okay, set the link. Let's provide the href. Okay, so it will be home. Provide the classes. Class name. So font display. Font display. Text Excel. Text Excel. Font semi-bold. Text zinc 100. Okay. After that, so image. Inside that image, so I'll follow the source. Logo.svg. Width 50. Height 50. Alt logo. Okay, so immediately after the links, I'll create the p elements. Okay, so build faster, shift smarter, the platform for modern team. Okay, so class names, matching top 4, text sm, text zinc 500, max width access. That's it. Okay, let's create the comment for product link. Inside that, instead of product, so let's create the s4 product. Okay, provide the style for it. On heading, text sm, font semi-bold, text zinc 100, margin bottom 4. Okay, so now let's create the UL space y3. Okay, so instead of footer link dot map, links dot map, product dot map link. Okay, so L1 inside li, so key will be link dot label. After that, create the link. Okay, so link to href, link dot href. So then provide the class name, link dot label, text sm text zinc 500. I'll hover over it, text zinc 300, transition color, transition color. Okay, so now create the company link. Okay, so let's open up the div, create the s4. Okay, so everything's same, so I think I can copy from the previous one. There will be company. So after that, put a link dot company. Okay, so after that, so I'll create the legal link. Okay, now again, so I'll paste legal. Okay, so that will be legal. That's it. Let's create the bottom bar. Bottom bar. Okay, div. Set the div, provide the class names. Heading top 8. Border T. Okay, so border T, and provide the color of the border. Border zinc 900. Flex call. MD flex row. Items center. Justify between. Justify between and gap 4. Set that div. I'll create the p element. Okay, so it'll be, let's create the text. At the right sign. Ampersand copy. New date dot get full year. Quote with Imran. Ink. All right. Reserve. Okay, let's style it. XSM. X zinc 600. Okay. Next items center and gap 4. Okay, let's open up the link. Sref will be hash. Class name X zinc 500. And I'll hover X zinc 300. Transition colors. Area label GitHub. Class names size 5. Okay, let's copy. Twitter and LinkedIn. Okay, so now we can announce we successfully completed the our photo sections as well. Okay, so for verifying that, let's head back to the browser. Okay, this is the pricing sections, then that one is the CTA, and finally we have successfully created our photo sections. So I think something went wrong inside this. Okay, something went wrong. Okay, so I think so. Okay, I have fixed the issue. So why this is showing there? Okay, so first of all, I need to out the box of this div. Okay, let's cut it and paste it there. I think issue is resolved. Okay, let's head back to the browser. Let's see. Okay, so finally we have successfully completed our landing phase. Okay, so have a nice day. See you soon. Bye. Please, if you like the content or learn something from this tutorial, please subscribe to my channel. Also consider like. Okay, bye.